Welcome to the Working Family Lobby Corps Legislative Update Video, Week 8.
This is Communications Director David Fernandez with your Week 8 Legislative Update. Week 8 began with what has become commonplace in the Florida legislature, talks of so-called pension reform, this time in the context of some first-rate political shenanigans. Over the past 4 years, under the shadow of the conflict over the Florida retirement system, has been a very contentious effort to change local pension plans, especially those for our police officers and firefighters. After thousands of hours of negotiations, a compromise was reached, agreed to by all sides, and it looked as if much-needed changes to local pensions was in reach. Unfortunately, on Monday, April 21st, all of that work was thrown into jeopardy when yet another in a long line of pension proposals was released combining the good local pension bill with the very bad FRS bill. The thinking being that it would split apart our coalition and force some of our supporters in the Senate to take the FRS changes so that they could get the local changes.
The systems that you are trying to put together here are so vastly different, and the challenges facing each of them and the impact that they have on the employees and the way that they operate are so vastly different that trying to couple them together at this late date is really not in the best interest of public policy and the people of Florida.
On the FRS side, we think that's bad policy, and rolling these two together we think jeopardizes the good bill.
On Tuesday, wage theft took center stage again when faith leaders gathered to present a letter to the Florida legislature, signed by over 120 religious leaders of all faiths from across Florida in opposition to bills that would ban local wage theft ordinances.
There's a letter that has been submitted from over 120 leaders in faith communities across this state of Florida. We believe the legislative committee or the legislative bills which are now in process and which we hope to defeat do not pass a moral test or the justice test.
Later in the week, the House combined pension bill, introduced just days earlier and heard in a single committee, hit the House floor.
Isn't it enough that there were 465 assaults on our corrections officers just last year? Isn't it enough that 4 corrections officers were killed in the line of duty in the past 10 years? No, we must continue to meddle in a system that a top official with the State Board of Administration testified just 3 days ago in the Senate was quote-unquote in good shape and one of the strongest in this country.
We have seen a decline in the middle class. So we're not only talking about state pensions, we are also talking about a way of looking at policy and a way of looking at the middle class. And the defined benefit pension plans are of what has made this country strong and what has made this state workforce strong.
It's one that the Florida League of Cities, all of the unions who've been fighting for years for a pension reform, all agreed to. Now that is a very, very rare situation. This goes all the way back to even when I was chairman of my local 175, 185 plan when it was signed into law in 1999. They've been fighting ever since, and this is the proposal that they were able to come up with. However, you've damaged it by placing the FRS segment in there.
HB 7181 passed the Florida House on a party line 74 to 44 votes. On Thursday, undocumented students from across the state held a press conference urging Senator Gates to allow a floor vote on a bill that would provide tuition equity for all. After being blocked in committee last week, students have promised they will not give up until in-state tuition is given its fair hearing on the Senate floor.
I am an investment. I have gone through public schooling, and now because I cannot further my education, that investment is being lost as politicians gamble with my life.
Week 8 proved to be one of the biggest showings of the Working Family Lobby Corps all session. Dozens of activists took action across the Capitol and shared their experiences.
I'm a native Floridian, been here all my life, and this is the first time I've ever been to the Capitol. It's beautiful, learned a lot of things, and I hope we can accomplish more in the future. Thank you.
This is probably my 4th year here, but I always learn something. It's always interesting to talk to our legislators, and we need to keep their ears on what we need as working people.
I'm Rob Crete. I'm from the local AFT in Hillsborough County. I'm a school teacher. I'm here to meet with my legislators, express my concerns, learn about the legislative process, and I believe that this is an experience that all workers in the state should enjoy.
And I'm here so all workers have the right to get paid for what they do, to not have their retirements hurt, to not have their education money sent off to other places. I'm here for everyone because we all need to stand together and establish our rights here in Florida.
With only 1 week left for the 2014 legislative session, all eyes turn to the House and Senate floors. Stay tuned next week for the final legislative update. Solidarity.